Hello there, my name is Pavor Stelmach and now we'll unveil the top news of recent days. Defense ministers agreed on the creation of a new drone coalition at the meeting of the Ukrainian Defence Contact Group, better known as Ramstein. As the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, Rustem Umerov, said during the introductory speech, the Ukrainian Defense Forces urgently need to increase their long-range capabilities to destroy the enemy's logistical and military infrastructure on the occupied territory of Ukraine. And after the meeting, we can say that such decisions were made.
Сьогодні підписуємо також дронову коаліцію, відкриття дронової коаліції, де
Today, we're signing a drone coalition which will have several directions. This is the production of drones, systems, and financial support. It will be provided for the production of drones both in Ukraine and outside Ukraine, together with partners. The issue of artillery coalition was also discussed, where we will either manufacture them together, systems will be provided, and there will also be financing. That is a fairly good list of capabilities that our partners will provide.
Also, Ukraine will strengthen air defense both with systems and missiles for them. Of course, the question of which Ukraine has been waiting for a long time, F-16. According to the notification, all agreements with partners are valid and are being implemented according to the schedule. We will strengthen our capability by developing our defense industry. Sustainability is important here. To be able to respond to long-term challenges and meet urgent needs today, we have a significant advantage over the enemy in terms of allied GDP. All the countries can combine technological capabilities with real and relevant experience from the battlefield. Ukraine needs more artillery ammunition, armored fighting vehicles, air defense systems on the battlefield, and our partners can provide them.
We need, of course, to do both, to do two things at the same time. We need to be able to deliver ammunition in the short term, meaning that we need to continue to dig into our own stocks. We need to see if there is possible to buy ammunition from outside NATO countries, and allies have done that. And we need to also be able to ramp up production from existing factories. More shifts has been a way to actually increase production from existing production capacity, but in the longer term we need to increase also the production capacity. And therefore I welcome decisions not only by Germany but also from other allies to invest more to ramp up production. And that's the way we will ensure that we're able to both continue to support Ukraine with a steady flow of ammunition, but also to replenish our own stocks, which have now been depleted, to enable us to support Ukraine.
Yes, it is not cheap, but the price of failure will be measured in countless innocent victims. We need an effective mechanism to destroy the enemy based on technological superiority. Russia's war is not only a war against Ukraine, but against NATO, the European Union, and the free democratic world itself. It is a threat to Ukrainian citizens as well to partner citizens. And if you think that the war could not come to your country, I'll tell you that we Ukrainians also did not believe in this. But in reality, the bloody Russian dictator wants more death and more land, and only we united can stop him and his army. This is a global threat from strong authoritarian states and terrorist groups that are on the rise. Russia again launched a massive strike on the territory of Ukraine. Dnipropetrovsk, Khmelnytsky, Ivano-Frankivsk and Poltava regions are under attack this night. Also, the cities of Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Kyiv, Lviv were targets of Russian terrorists. As we are used to, it was a combined strike with the use of various missiles, including North Korean ones. The Russian invaders attacked Ukraine with air-based cruise missiles, sea-based cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and anti-aircraft and air-guided missiles. This is the footage shot near Kyiv. The Russian missile fell in a deep forest near Bucha. As you can see, there are no sites, critical infrastructure, or any army facilities, but according to the Russian Ministry of Attack, all the targets were hit. So you can decide either the Russians wanted to get right there, or they lie as usual. All their high-precision weapons miss by tens of kilometers, and every time Ukrainian citizens die from Russian shelling. There is another option. Russian missiles are of poor quality and fall where they want to. For example, this morning they decided to drop it in the center of Belgorod. Of course, propagandists are already saying that it is Ukrainians who are attacking peaceful cities, but photos and videos from the scene show that all the damage was caused by anti-aircraft missiles. By the way, these are the ones that are shelling the Kharkiv region from the territory of Belgorod. Russians have started the active phase of the information operation called Perun. This was reported by the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defence of Ukraine. As part of this operation, the enemy plans to attract foreign journalists, media persons and bloggers to justify aggression against Ukraine and cover the situation around our state from positions favorable to the Kremlin. At the same time, the first steps of this phase have already been taken. In particular, Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson and Nebenzia's hard talk with the BBC Russian service have already been discussed thousands of times. It is just that such similar interviews and messages do not appear at the same time, so we can expect waves of disinformation in the near future. About the fact that everybody are tired of Ukraine, that the Kremlin is ready for negotiations, that Europe and the USA do not have money for weapon ammunition to help us. These are all Russian lies, and you might think that we Ukrainians are trying to somehow act in the information field. But the same intentions of Russians are reported by Germany, Poland and France. The foreign ministers of the three countries announced the creation of a joint mechanism to respond to potential Russian internet attacks. Western countries have accused Moscow of creating a network of propaganda websites to undermine their governments ahead of European Parliament elections in June. The Russian Federation is using social networks and the internet to spread false or misleading information.
We want to work together to lay the important European foundations for European defence. We want to work together on the path to a European Security Council. We want to work together on the path to a European Security and Defence Union. And precisely because we look at our European security from different perspectives in some areas, including defence issues, it is so important that we pull together here in the interest of Europe as a whole. If Putin is aiming to divide Europe, then he has achieved exactly the opposite.
I will remind you that earlier French investigators have identified some 193 websites disseminating narratives from pro-Russian sources, as well from Russian news agencies and institutions. The above websites have not achieved significant success, French officials note. However, they are concerned that in the context of the second anniversary of the Russian war against Ukraine, the upcoming elections in the US, European Union and Russia, as well as the Olympic Games that will be held this year in France, the activities of these sites could lead to the spread of significant amounts of disinformation. That concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay updated, comment, like and subscribe to our UETV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support is that really matters. Goodbye.